Okay, so we're going to have a go at making a dinosaur. So I'm going to start by drawing just an outline box to contain the dinosaur. I'm going to make that rectangle 40 by 40. That is the rough size that I want the dinosaur to be. I'm going to put it on the origin with the midline constraint, and I'm going to turn that into a construction lines with X on the keyboard. Using the spline tool, I'm going to draw roughly through the middle of the dinosaur. So that's roughly the shape the dinosaur will be, through his tail, through to his head. And then I am going to construct a plane along a path. That's going to be my path, and I want that plane to be right at the end. I'm going to make a sketch on that plane that I just created, and that sketch is just going to be a circle for the rough body of the dinosaur. Dimension there doesn't matter too much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the form tool, so create form, and what I want to do is I'm going to do a sweep. So create form, sweep, the profile is that circle that I just drew, and the path is the spline. The rest of those settings don't matter too much. I've got 8 faces and 8 faces, and that'll get me something to start with. Alright, so this is roughly the body of my dinosaur. And what I'm going to do is, if I double click on that line there, I select the whole circle. Okay, so double click on the line, selects the whole circle, and then right click on that circle. I want to go to edit form, and now I can move this around. Alright, so the arrows let me move around. These ones, I don't know what they're called. They squish and stretch stuff. So put that back where it was before. And the one I want to use is the dot in the middle. Alright, so grab that dot and dragging in and out scales the whole thing in every direction. And so what I want to do is grab that circle, and I'm going to make this end the tail, so squish that so it's small, and this end is, the middle bit here is a fat body, so there we go, and then the neck's going to be small. Alright, and so that gives me roughly the shape of a dinosaur's body. Alright, so okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some symmetry to this. So I go to symmetry, and I need to click 2 faces, one on either side, so that I get that green line down the center. So now anything I do on one side will be symmetrical and happen on the other side. What I'm going to do is add some legs in. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to modify this a little bit. I need an extra line in there, so I'm going to insert an edge from there, and that will be my new edge. I'm going to use that to make a leg. About there, I think. You might already have one in the right spot. Maybe, maybe not. And so with that selected, I'm going to do an extrude. I'm going to pull that out the back there, and that's going to create some legs. Now I need some more faces in that, so it doesn't look quite so weird. 3 faces is probably about right. So now I have my 2 legs. I'm going to do the same on the front. So I think we'll add an edge on the front as well. Alright, now And try and move these legs so they don't look quite so weird. So go edit form again, and I'm going to rotate till I get them roughly where I want them. Those front legs are probably in the roughly the right position. Alright, I need to make the bottom of that leg fatter so it looks a bit like a foot. So grab that circle, that dot in the middle, and just drag that out again. That makes that bigger. And I reckon that I'm going to hold shift and do a multiple select. I think those need to be bigger. That line there can be smaller. Alright, that's starting to look pretty good. Again, I think I need that line there to be smaller. Yeah, that's what I want. Alright, that's pretty good. We have a look at this shape now. We have an open end. I'm going to close that end. So double click to select the whole thing. I'm going to modify, and we're going. Okay, so we go and select fill hole, and a couple of options for that. I think you can use that collapse setting. So now that dinosaur tail is looking a bit sad. So gonna go in and make that a little bit bigger. And alright, same thing with the head. We're going to fill that head in. Fill hole. Alright, and might make that a little bit fatter too. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this guy a bit of a walking stance. So it's actually not really flat anymore. I'm going to grab the bottom of this and just move it up a little bit. Alright, so to give him a bit of a walking stance, I'm going to go in and I'm going to turn that symmetry off. Clear symmetry. So that green line's gone, it's not symmetrical anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this bit of the leg, and I'll rotate it a little bit and bring it back so it looks maybe like he's taking a step. And you can do the same thing on this side over here. Alright, now he just needs a head. So, just going to make a new form for that. Make his head out of a... Alright, so I'm going to make that symmetrical. And I'm going to do 2 point from here to here is roughly where I want that head to be. Let's make it a big head. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now, all we're going to do is take that down. And in. Alright, there we go. So okay, last thing I'm going to do is cut the bottom flat so that he stands off when I print him. So I'm just going to draw a box underneath there and extrude that both ways as a cut. And then his feet are flat so that he'll stand up when I print him. Combine and save as a mesh for printing.